Good afternoon, everyone. This week, I actually chose to do the Episcopal Church. I thought that a church so closely tied with the founding era of the United States would be an excellent point to start when we talk about how the church and Christianity in America go hand in glove. So originally, of course, the Episcopalian Church was the Anglican Church, and it was seen as a key component of the British Empire, obviously with the Book of Common Prayer. The fact that theologians and those appointed to church office were required to take an oath of allegiance to the crown, and even the fact that membership in the church was considered to be a requirement for any crown office. It's interesting when you think that between 2/3 and 3/4 of the signers to the Declaration of Independence were at least notionally Anglican, that the importance of finding a comfortable, familiar theology where they could express their Christian beliefs outside of being tied to England came about. So at the end of the Revolutionary War, in 1789, in fact, when we see the U.S. Constitution coming fully into effect, along with the Bill of Rights, the Episcopalian Constitution was rapidly approved. As Holmes noted, it was really interesting because a war supported on the American side by persons inherently suspicious of an episcopacy ended up with the quick establishment of Anglican bishoprics in America, the first bishop, of course, being placed in Congregationalist New England. So despite all these pressures from various Protestant denominations that were virtually exploding along the frontiers and parts of the American landscape, Episcopalians, as they were now known, persevered. The hierarchical nature was a comfort, or the sense of conservatism or established legitimacy gave contentment and a sense of belonging and well-being to the members. It's interesting to note that during this founding period, James Madison, the cousin of the future president, was named as the first bishop of Virginia, and while an Episcopalian bishop, he also served as the president of the College of William and Mary, carrying on the tradition of close ties between religion and higher education in early America. Brendan, in his research, produced a list of some of the earliest noted Episcopal bishops and high offices in the United States, and showed that the church really had serious problems early on, even considering the church essentially destroyed, because many of those who were listed as facing office faced allegations of drunkenness, misbehavior, misconduct, and some even going so far as to have forged credentials. So Brendan at one point says the church was essentially destroyed until it began to revive itself in 1814 and has slowly grown since then. So throughout the 19th century, we see Episcopalians standardizing their doctrine, moving back to an invigorated legitimacy, and beginning to participate in missionary activities, especially in places like the Philippines. This created an interesting circumstance because the Philippines, after the Spanish-American War, were an American protectorate. America had an empire. And so the theology of the Episcopalians came into conflict with this because the missionaries disagreed with the notion of an imperial power. As Jones noted in his research, the missionaries' anti-imperialist rhetoric was no accident, because the circumstances that brought the argument forward between a high church Episcopal idea of a life and well-ordered church and governmental structure conflicted with the evangelical American ideas as Protestants and being independent-minded. So there was this interesting interplay between the religious missionaries on one side and the imperial government on the other, which saw efforts to minister to the Filipinos, in some cases curtailed or even eliminated. Moving into the more modern era, the church has faced many of the same questions that a lot of denominations have: issues of central authority, the ordination of women, affirmation of LGBTQ members in recent years, and even seeing some dioceses split and realign with smaller bishoprics. But through faith and work, the church, I still found was interesting, they have 1.9 million baptized members in the United States and slightly over 2.2 million worldwide. So they are a significant Protestant faith, and they continue to maintain those ties and traditions that go back to the earliest founding period of the Republic. And I found that all very interesting. I look forward to everyone's comments and hope everyone has had a blessed week. Thank you.